I talk a lot about poisons, so let's talk about something that is very commonly used to get rid of poisons: activated charcoal. So, charcoal in general is the kind of stuff left over after burning a very carbon-rich organic material, usually wood. It's this very lightweight black substance that is also very crumbly and usually leaves black residue on everything it touches. Activated charcoal is a specific type of charcoal that is, again, made of burned organic material, usually wood, but then it is further treated in order to make a lot of pores within the material. The pores are very important because it helps dramatically increase surface area, which helps in removing toxins. So, when there is somebody that has been suspected of being poisoned or consuming things that they shouldn't, or even drug overdose cases, oftentimes one of the first things applied is activated charcoal. For example, when my sister was a toddler, my parents thought that she accidentally took some of my grandmother's medications that were left on the table for a short amount of time, so they had to call the ambulance and take her to the hospital, and she had to take a lot of activated charcoal. Fortunately, she did not actually eat the pills and was fine, but better safe than sorry. Now, how this kind of works is that the charcoal itself is very, very good at binding different chemicals and substances. So if somebody takes a certain toxic substance and then takes activated charcoal after, instead of being absorbed into the body through the stomach lining, the poison then binds to the activated charcoal instead and is harmlessly passed through instead of causing problems in the body. This is where the importance of the pores in activated charcoal comes in, because with the increase of pores, there's a larger surface area where more toxins can bind to the charcoal and less of it gets absorbed into the body. Now, of course, activated charcoal isn't a miracle poison cure-all. It only works on select specific toxins, and there's no guarantee how effective it will be. There is always a chance that it was applied too late and more of the toxins got into the system. Also, depending on the structure and the different biological activities of certain substances, it may not be able to bind to charcoal, and then different antidotes and supportive measures need to be taken instead of just the activated charcoal. But it is usually one of the first things applied just to try to absorb as much of the toxic material as it can, and activated charcoal itself is a pretty harmless substance. However, there are still some downsides. If you take certain medications that you take orally and they absorb through the stomach lining, if you take activated charcoal, instead of helping your system, the medications will be absorbed and passed through. So you're not actually getting any of the benefits of your medication because it's all being neutralized by the charcoal. Activated charcoal in like drinks and as a miracle health thing was a big thing a few years ago, and a lot of people had their medications messed with by the charcoal because they didn't know that it would neutralize their medications. So a lot of people were like, hey, my medications aren't working anymore. Why? And it was found out, like, hey, it's because you're taking activated charcoal in your smoothie every morning, and that's stopping your medications from doing anything. And again, this isn't also a miracle cure. If you think that you have ingested something that is toxic, instead of just going, that's fine, I'll take activated charcoal, you shouldn't just do that. You should definitely call poison control, and then probably call an ambulance where they will likely administer activated charcoal, but also will probably have to do a bunch of other things to make sure that you're not still poisoned.